When you think of legendary creatures in Standard, you may be inclined to look to Esper or even Sultai due to the recent history of powerful legendary creatures with backbreaking effects. But I want to challenge that thought with a new approach. Today I want to introduce you all to a little fellow with a huge effect, Tinybones. Today, bear witness to an unlikely alliance as we aim to pair a tiny skeleton from the swamps of Yerborg with some of the scariest villains from Phyrexia. Join me on a journey across the multiverse where the smallest of creatures can command the respect of his enemies and the adoration of his friends. Today, we are playing Orzhov Legends. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a Restless Fortress and a Plains. So, Restless Fortress coming in play tapped is not great. However, our opponent's going first, so we do have an opportunity to draw a black mana source. I'm tempted to keep it. Play a swamp into a duress. Okay, they take my ossification. Okay, good, that works. Okay, we'll play that, and we'll play Tinybones. And play an island. Okay, so here we'll play Tinybones joins up. Alright, it resolves. We force our opponent to discard. Alright, they discard a Sheldred. That's pretty dope. Right, attack for 1. No can do. Decline. Can't do it. Alright, we play the Restless. Eroded Canyon deals 1 damage to me. Alright, so let's see here. Let's go with the Plains into Vadmir. They counter it. Cool story. Decline. End turn. Right, play another tapped land. Into Weave the Nightmare. Heist target his opponent's library. Choose one. If you control a non-land permanent you don't own as you cast a spell, you may choose 2 instead. Okay, so they only had the opportunity to choose 1. So this is great. So we're going to steal their Sheldred now. Take it. Pay for it. Opponent loses a life. Submit 1. Boom. There you go. That's profit. Oh, they're saving it, huh? I wonder why they didn't just kill the Tinybones. Uh-oh, it's Vadmir. Maybe that's why. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and seal that away. Pop him for 1. Can't recast that, unfortunately. We gotta wait till next turn. Weave the Nightmare. You're gonna heist my library again. People are really enjoying the heist mechanic. It's a pretty cool mechanic, honestly. 3 random non-land cards. Okay, so they are random. Well, that's good at least. Alright, let's go and play Elos. Target them. Alright, they mill. Next. All attack. Next. Cannot do it. End turn. Oh, they play Elesh. Okay. I will play Ardent Veil Fealty. So, that's not good, because it shuts down my, what's the word? Basically all my removal. So, what we have to do is we have to attack with our Death Touch boys. Mm-hmm. Yep, and we will take your Sheldred. I will pay for it. Doesn't shut this down. It's a good thievery target, though. I'll definitely give you that. Oh, you want to duress my nothing? Enjoy. It's all creatures, dude. Duress is not great against me. Especially with that virtue being in the exile zone. I'll gain 2 life. Thank you. Play the fortress. And I'll play Vadmir. Yes, I won't get the benefit of Tinybones joins up, but I can't just attack you. Here we come. You will die. Okay. End the turn. And that's game. What's that? Oh, it's just gonna heist me anyways? Okay, cool. Go for it. Oh. What exactly does that card do? Whenever you cast a spell you don't own, each opponent loses 2 life, you can gain 2 life. Oh, he's trying to counter it with a little bit of life gain. Interesting play. Didn't get anything. Deck. So the deck starts with Tinybones, and Tinybones joins up. And in turn 2, we're looking at Elosil Core and Vadmir Newblood. Then we are looking at Lord Skitter on turn 3. Turn 4 is Sheldred the Apocalypse, and turn 5 gives us Gisa the Hellraiser and also Elish Norn, Mother of Machines. So a few synergies with this deck is 1, Tinybones joins up. Tinybones joins up, enters the battlefield, any number of target players, each discard a card. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, any number of target players each mill a card and lose a life. So this is really good because it's 1, a turn 1 play. 2, it turns all of your legendary creatures into creatures that deal 1 damage when they come into play. The mill is not nearly as consequential as that 1 point loss of life. And Tinybones himself can capitalize on the mill by being able to steal more cards from your opponent if he hits. So that's like the first bit of synergy right there. Second bit of synergy, we have Elosil Core. He's going to gain us life and lose our opponent's life when creatures come into play or die. Vadmir is surprisingly good. I liked what I saw of Vadmir when the set first went live, but only through playing with Vadmir a little bit this morning did I really see how quickly this guy grows in power. He's really strong. Lord Skitter is here in the deck as well because you need a little bit of graveyard hate, and the fact that he beats up the graveyard while giving you additional creatures to attack with is really strong. Here's another synergy right here is we have Sheldred the Apocalypse. So Sheldred with Tinybones joins up, hits them for the mill, and hits them for that 1 point of life immediately before any kind of card draw happens. But there's a combo here with Sheldred the Apocalypse and Insatiable Avarice. Insatiable Avarice, the second part of the spree here, where you pay triple black, says target player draws 3 cards and loses 3 life. If you point this at the opponent, 1, you're triggering crime, so you get that +1/+1 counter for Vadmir. But you also force your opponent to draw 3 cards, which is going to hit the opponent for 9, because each card that your opponent draws while Sheldred is on the table is going to trigger 2 points of damage. Insatiable Avarice causes the target player that draws the cards to lose 3 life. So that's 6 + 3, that's 9 points of life loss right there. So it is a really easy way to kill an opponent outright with Sheldred on the table. And then Elish Norn has some interesting synergy with Tinybones joins up. So what this does if you haven't seen this in a while, I'll remind you. For 5 mana, you get a 4/7 Vigilance creature, and it says, if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So typically, you want to pair Elesh Norn with things like Seal from Existence or Ossification. These are control elements that is going to allow you to steal 2 of your opponent's creatures, like lock them up if Elesh Norn is on the table. But also, with Tinybones joins up, it doubles that trigger. So when Elesh Norn comes into play, it will trigger Tinybones joins up twice, causing the opponent to lose 2 life and mill 2 cards. And that can add up really quickly. Also, the other half of this card reads, permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. So you can effectively shut down the same kinds of effects from Seal from Existence and Ossification and Leyline Binding and things like that. All of those effects just get shut down. So that's really, really strong ability. Not too bad for only 5 mana of a mana investment. Virtue of Loyalty, we're keeping the 2 virtues in here. I really enjoyed this card in the previous iteration of this deck, and just being able to put a +1/+1 counter on all your creatures and untap them at the end of every turn, it's a little bit too strong to give up. So I want to keep playing with Virtue of Loyalty. And then also we have Gisa the Hellraiser. Gisa is another creature that also cares about crime. It is a 4/4 for 5 mana with Ward 2, pay 2, and Ward 2 colorless and pay 2 life. Skeletons and zombies you control get +1/+1 and have menace. That is going to be very relevant for our friend Tinybones. Whenever you commit a crime, create 2 tapped 2/2 blue and black zombie rogue creature tokens. This ability triggers only once each turn. So also bear in mind, with Gisa giving skeletons and zombies +1/+1, you're actually putting 3/3 zombies onto the table. Really, really solid effect. Now, you may be wondering, how many crime enablers do we have in this deck? Well, honestly, quite a few. Insatiable Avarice can be pointed at your opponent. That can cause a crime. Tinybones joins up, targets the opponent when it comes into play. That's a crime. Tinybones the Pickpocket does crime when it hits the opponent. Ossification is a crime. Seal from Existence is a crime. Unfortunately, Elasil Core does not do crime because this character's effect does not target. So no crime being done here. Lord Skitter does commit crime because it exiles cards from players' graveyards, target players' graveyards. Sheldred does not commit crime, even though her existence is a crime itself. Elesh Norn does not. Virtue of Loyalty does not. So effectively you have 1, 2, 6, 10, 14, 17, 20 different crime enablers in the deck. So you've got enough here to make crime as a sub-theme relevant. So there it is. That's the deck that we're going to be playing today. I think we may be able to do pretty well with this deck. It looks pretty solid. The removal's good. The removal in the deck, while slow, it can hit multiple types of targets, which is very good. And the deck has a pretty decent curve, 1s into 2s into 3s. So it looks good to me. So we're going to take it out on the ladder. Okay, so what do we got here? We have nothing good. We have Virtue of Loyalty. That's it. So we need to send this back. Alright, so that's 3 lands. Seal from Existence, Tinybones, Lord Skitter, and Gisa. I will keep this. Sending back Gisa. That's a cool card back there. It's like Sword of Fire and Ice, or something like that. Or maybe that's Willa and Rowan's swords clashing. That might be what that is. Okay, Windscarred Crag comes down. So we will play Concealed Courtyard into Tinybones. We play a Plains. Do a Hex Gold Halberd. Alright. So here, let's go with the Restless. And we will not attack. We're just going to chill right here. Wait for you to come at me. Oh shoot, it has first strike. That's not good at all. Mithril Coat. What does that do? Flash Indestructible. Enters the battlefield attached to target legendary creature you control. Equipped creature has Indestructible. Interesting. Yeah, no blocks. That has first strike. It's just silly. Alright. I will play Lord Skitter. And then we attack for 1. Bink. So our opponent is firmly a Boros deck. Boros equipment. Oh no, my creature's dead. Tarian Soul Cleaver. Yeah, that's a lot of equipment you got there, dude. Well, you're not doing anything. Well, that's fine for me. Let's see. We will just sit here pretty with Mr. Elos. And I have no reason to attack. Except for the fact that he might actually block the Tinybones. He will. Alright, cool. Alright, play a Mountain. And a Fencing Ace. Interesting. It's a double striking creature. Alright, cool. So, let's go with the Concealed Courtyard. Into Seal from Existence. Creature. Goes bye-bye. Then we'll play a Tinybones Joins Up. Target you, of course. Okay, interesting. Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Let's see. Phyrexian Dragon Engine is a double striking creature, so it doesn't matter if I leave it back to defend or not. Right? Oh, he had 2 Phyrexian Dragon Engines. Interesting. Alright, equip. I'll target self. Autopay. So, what we want here is we want... I think we want an Ossification, and then draw 3 cards. No attacks. That was pretty terrible. Getting 2 more lands off of that. We already have too many lands as it is. Oh, that's mean. You're not supposed to be able to do that. No blocks. Okay, that works for me. Alright, let's go and play Cavern of Souls. We'll name Phyrexian just because. And then we will target this basic land. Get rid of that. Play Sheoldred. So that we can punish them if they choose to unearth their guy. And... no attacks. I'll just sit here. Danitha, Benalia's Hope, huh? Interesting. Oh. Alright. First things first, Fealty. And then... and then we'll just play the Mirex. No attacks. First strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink. That's a lot. Ah, come on, dude. See, that's just mean. Because now he just wins. Because I can't deal with that Danitha. Oh, and it creates 2 spirits to attack with. Yeah, you know what? You got this. You definitely got that. Alright, so what do we got? Cavern Souls, Caves of Koilos Plains, Elasiel Core, Elish Norn, Insatiable Avarice, and Gisa. It's a pretty top-heavy hand. But it has good lands, though. Should we keep it? Our opponent goes first. We'll keep it. Alright. I play a Restless Bouvlock. So that tells me that they are at least in Boros. They're firmly in Boros. Haste. Oh, let me read your card. Mary, Esquire of Rohan, has first strike as long as it is equipped. Whenever you attack with Mary and another legendary creature, draw a card. Is this the same person I just got done playing against? Because if it is, then that really says something about the alchemy queue. Alright, it's gone. You can attack for 2. Alright, let's play Caves of Koilos for Lord Skitter. That's a very pretty lightning helix. Afraid it's gotta go though. Alright, ossification. Get rid of Lord Skitter. Yeah, unfortunately the rat can't block, so you get to come in. Alright. Play Cavern Souls. I'll just name Phyrexian, why not? Here, I'll name Praetor. Let's see. Alright, let's go with Tinybones joins up. If you discard a card. I discard Inti, huh? Alright. I'm just gonna seal Mary away. Because they have not been playing any cards. Like any threats other than Mary. Yeah, sure, I'll attack. Get in there, rat. Windscarred Crag. Into a Gitu Embercoiler. What even is that? At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may discard a card. If you do, seek a card with a great amount of value and exile it. Until the end of your next turn, you may play the exiled card. Interesting. Okay, so I need to draw some cards. I can't draw cards. I don't have the right mana. Damn it. Alright. Shoot. What can I do here? I think I have to do this, unfortunately. And I have to do it to get a friggin' land. This is really disappointing. Go give me a plains. No attacks. Alright, Monastery Mentor. And Shock. Alright. Well, this is telling me that it's definitely not the same person I just played. That's for sure. Discard a mountain to seek a very dangerous card. Great. Cut it out. Stop doing stuff. You got too much stuff over there. Yeah. Block that. And I just die. Now we're at 4. Gosh. Cast Ossify, targeting the G2 Flame Ember Coiler, and this guy right here. And I'll attack with Alishnorn. Okay. Hopefully we can turn this around a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, they played a land, so they got one card left in their hand. And it's Ossification. Perfect. So we cancel the Ossification. Block there. Nice. We were able to turn it around. That was really, really scary. Just being like stuck on land and having to throw away an insatiable avarice just to get a land really hurt. At least we were able to turn it around. Interesting. So we got 3 lands, one of which comes into play tapped, 2 Vadmirs, and 2 Seal from Existence. I'll keep it, just because it allows me to do crimes right off the bat. Alright. First up is the Restless Fortress, since I'm not going to be casting any spells on my first turn. A blue and red land. Alright, let's go and play Swamp into Vadmir. Spire Bluff Canal. That's very pretty. I like that. Okay, so we got Grixis. Maybe it's Grixis Crimes. Oh, very possibly. He did target my thing. Alright, here comes Vadmir again. Boom, ba-doom, boom. Alright, they play a Swamp. Into Grave Expectations. You want to heist my library. You're basically grave digging through my library for stuff to play. Alright, let's go with the Caverner's Souls, naming Skeleton this time. Done. Play the Skeleton. Pop you for 2. And I think that's going to be it. Nothing really else to play. Sulphurous Springs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Brotherhood's End. Good card. Great card. Love that card. Elishnorn. Big baby. They'll have a way to deal with this too, then. I mean, if they built their deck appropriately, they'll have a way to deal with it. Ah, the One Ring. So that's a good thing, is like they did not get the ability to, what's the term? They did not make themselves invulnerable for the turn because of Alishnorn. I am not removing their ring just yet. I want them to get something else onto the table so I can double seal. Okay, they blow the escape tunnel. So they can search for a basic land and put it into play tapped. Oh, they're doubling it. Interesting, and you got a little bit of ramp there. I like that. That's a creative way to generate value. So they really want to play that enchantment next turn. Alright, put them to 8. End turn. Okay, so they're going to lose a life for each bird encounter, which is 2. Draw a card. I'll probably just make a Mirrex token at the end of this turn. Alright, play another Swamp. Play the Black Virtue. Oh, no, he's playing Deadly Cover-Up. Okay, that's fine. Alright, they go to 4. Waiting to see their next move. Okay, end of turn. Make a dude. Alright, we'll play a Tinybones Joins Up. Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, so what do we have here? We have 2 Caves of Koilos and a Restless Fortress. Not the best mana base, but we can make it work. And so we have Tinybones into Vadmir, into Lord Skitter, into Gisa. So we can potentially make this work. Let's hope it does. So we're going to go Caves first. Tinybones. Play a Swamp or a Greedy Freebooter. Alright, we're going to play Concealed Courtyard, Vadmir. Not attacking into that. They play a Swamp. Go for the throat on Tinybones. Alright, so let's go with Caves of Koilos, Lord Skitter. Lord Skitter removes the Go for the throat, Vadmir gets bigger, and now we'll attack. Yeah, get your treasure token. Alright, Swamp. So you can play up to a 4 mana card this turn. Oh, and goes for Go for the throat again. March toward perfection. Alright, Restless Fortress comes in. End turn. If we can draw another land next turn, that would be great. That's a lot of good single target removal you got there, bud. Vault Scourge. Alright. Vault Scourge comes in with a +1/+1 counter. That's not the land I wanted, but I'll take it. It has Death Touch, so let's go ahead and get rid of it. Get rid of your March. There we go. There's the land. Obliterator. Alright. Let's go and seal that away as well. Alright, opponent is at 4 health. Blot out. Target opponent exile. Oh, okay. That was a lot of removal. Almost everything he played that game was a removal spell. But we still came out on top. I call that a win. Alright, so this looks a little bit better. Playing Swamp Cavern of Souls into Elos, Tinybones, Vadmir, and Sheldred. I'll keep it. Alright, first is going to be the Swamp for the Tinybones. Haywire Might. Alright, and we'll go Plains for Elos. Now attack in hopes of getting rid of that Haywire Might. They chose not to block. Alright. We'll use this, and we'll say Praetor. Praetors are pretty important. See here. Let's go and attack with both. See what they do. Alright. That works for me. I'll take it. Sure. I didn't think I would get that off that combat, but I will definitely take it. Let's see here. Let's go with Tinybones. Tinybones is a pretty cool little guy. I like him. gobbling up Haywire Mites. Oh, the Palantir. I'll lose life. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. Alright, let's go with Vadmir, New Blood. Target you. Gets a +1 counter. Attack. Seal from existence, you say? She's sealing the Haywire Mite. That's funny. I wonder if he knows that I can't activate it. Okay. Don't play here. And... oh, shoot. Alright. Well, here's something we can do. We can overwrite Elos, keeping the one that can attack. Get all the triggers. Well, I can't cast them this turn, so I will submit 0. Fine. And Jolly's Dunrunner. What is this? 1/1, double strike, enters the battlefield, it explores. Oh, okay. Cool. Let's see. Let's find out which one he's going to block. What's this? Remove an indestructible counter. No. Exile target artifact or enchantment. Activate only once. I do like that. Yeah. We'll take the little piggy. There we go. It's a good way of getting rid of that. Oh no, Sunfall happened. Let's play the Mirex. Let's see. Do I have enough black? I do have enough black to do this. Alright, so we'll play Vadmir first. Okay, they lose a life. Then we're gonna play Sheldred and do the same thing. Make them lose 2 life, and then they're gonna die on their draw step. GG. There you go, that's how it's done. Okay, so here we are with the post-game wrap-up, and my thoughts are pretty simple and straightforward with this deck. I do really like the synergies that are involved with this deck, specifically the Tinybones joins up and Elish Norn allowing you to double the trigger there. That's pretty cool. Ossification and Seal from Existence with Elish Norn are really good too. The only issue we ran into was actually casting Seal from Existence. It having a double pip of white in this deck makes it a little difficult to cast. You do have plenty of white mana sources in the deck, but you do have some lands that don't really work well with double pips of white, like Caverner Souls and Mirex. If you have these on the table, they're not really going to do you too well in casting a spell that is, 1, not a tribal spell, or 2, you're trying to cast it off of a Mirex that has been on the table for too long, so it's not really going to be the best. If you happen to have a Plaza of Heroes and an Elos out, well, then that's a different story. You can cast it to your heart's content. Though I did run into casting cost situations a little bit too much with this deck. So going forward, I think I would probably remove the Seal from Existence in favor of something else. Other than that, Sheldred with Insatiable Avarice, really cool combo. I love getting it off. But really, the thing that really carried a lot of the games was seriously just Tinybones joins up. This loaded up with all of your favorite legendary creatures. However you choose to build this deck, it's just really good at whittling down your opponent. Being able to turn all of your creatures into creatures that deal 1 to the opponent every single time they come into play is really strong, especially when you pair it with cards like LSL Core and Vadmir Newblood. I mean, him getting bigger every time you play a creature is pretty cool. Lord Skitter, probably one of the best cards in the deck, honestly. Like, this card being able to attack your opponent's graveyard and make tokens every turn, really, really strong. Only card I didn't really get to utilize a whole lot was Geese of the Hellraiser. I do think this is a really strong card, but maybe not for this deck. I mean, the deck runs pretty low to the ground. Getting up to these higher mana costs can be a little difficult. I mean, you did see in one game we had to utilize Insatiable Avarice to find a land for us just so that we could play Elish Norn. And that was not a good situation to be in. But you can't solve all of your land problems all the time. Sometimes you have to resort to inopportune plays in order to win your games. Virtue Loyalty, really great card, especially because you can use the Ardenvale Fealty part before you get up to 5 mana for the Virtue of Loyalty. Sheldred, always great. Ossification, always great. The deck itself, it runs a lot of really cool cards. It is less dirtily than the previous deck we were playing, which was the Aristocrats Orzhov deck. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say about it. It's a pretty fun deck if you really want to just run a lot of legendary creatures for profit. Definitely the only change I'd probably make to this is probably just cutting the seal from existence in favor of a better removal spell. Ossification is fantastic in this slot because it only costs 2 mana and it only has 1 white pip. Seal from Existence, I understand why they want 2 white mana for it. It's for that extra ward 3 on the permanent. But I think you can do better with other spells. Maybe run an instant-based removal spell instead of this one. Yeah, but yeah, there it is. That's the deck. I hope you enjoyed this this deck showcase, I guess I'll call it. If you want to take this deck out for a spin on your own, you absolutely can. I will leave a link to the deck list in the description box down below so you can take it out for a spin yourself and see if you can't iterate on this deck further. It's a really cool deck, really cool idea. I like this deck a lot, and I think I might work on this a little bit more myself. It is a pretty cool deck idea. Yeah. But anyways, that's the deck. I'll stop rambling for now. You go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day and maybe play some Legends. All right. Take care of yourselves.